What up, everybody? Right before killing Jabari Reynolds, Jabari told Tariq, "You're not a killer, Tariq. You're just in a bad spot." But Tariq replied, "You're wrong. I am the bad spot." Ever since the time Ghost left the family for Angela, death has seemed to follow Tariq, whether it being his fault or not. Starting with his friend and mentor Sean, Kanan's son. After that, Tariq met Kanan and things began to spiral out of control. Starting with the death of Jukebox, shot to death by Kanan right in front of Tariq as she held him hostage. After that, Tariq saw his twin sister gunned down at a school dance because Tariq had gotten involved in a burglary ring. To get revenge for Raina, Tariq caught his first body gunning down dirty cop Ray Ray for killing his sister. To cover his tracks for killing Ray Ray, Tariq then sets up his best friend Kanan to take the fall and die at the hands of law enforcement. Then, fearing Lakeisha would retract her alibi of where Tariq was at the time of Ray Ray's death, Tariq's mom Tasha kills her best friend since childhood, Lakeisha Grant. So it now seems all good at this point, but they somehow found Tariq's blood at the Raymond Jones crime scene, and with a partial sample that Blanca Rodriguez got from a cup Ghost drank from, she was able to connect the dots. And since Ghost threatened to make Tariq turn himself in and threatened to turn in Tasha for Lakeisha, Tariq killed his dead ghost, James St. Patrick. Either though I personally hope Ghost faked his death and is still alive, considering we never saw a body. After killing Ghost, Tariq got a fresh start at Stansfield, but instead of staying out of trouble and just going to school, Tariq met the Tejada family and got into the game, and the bodies followed him. Starting with GTG member Bars, who was drowned in the Stansfield pool, followed by the death of Professor Jabari Reynolds, who was gunned down by Tariq and Kane at a park. After that, Tariq's professor Carrie Milgram was killed, and star basketball player Zeke Cross, who Tariq was tutoring, was also killed. I'm not saying that Tariq killed all these people, but each time it is usually one death that sets off a chain of events. For example, the murder of Raina set into action all the events I mentioned in Power, just like Kane sending Bars to kill Tariq only for Bars to get drowned by 2-Bit set into action all the Stansfield related murders. And now we see death following Tariq once again to Weston Holdings and Wall Street, as personal trainer Nick, who just happens to also be the Wall Street plug, gets ran over by a truck after getting pushed into the road by Drew Tejada. This all just conveniently happens as soon as Nick was leaving his personal training session with Tariq. There is no telling right now if this was the actual plan or if Drew was just acting recklessly, because the initial plan was for Kane to come and handle Nick, but since Kane was too busy trying to figure out who killed his brother Zeke, Tariq called Drew in for the assist instead. But Drew's mental state was not stable at the time this happened. First off, he just got the brakes beat off him by a guap his dad hired, which caused him to miss Everett's OKC signing. And when he went to find Everett, Everett told him, "Leave me alone, don't ever talk to me again, act like you'll know me." All as Drew was pathetically begging Everett, "Please give me one more chance." Tariq had just finished telling Braden at the club that the reason he didn't want to move the product on Wall Street is because he didn't want things to get messy. And things have already gotten real messy. Tariq is still on his first week at the internship and someone is already dead. And this is not just some regular person, this is the Wall Street drug pusher who used his job as an athletic trainer as a front to push coke and pills disguised as protein powder and nutritional supplements. And now that Nick is out of the way, Tariq and Braden decided they aren't going to reinvent the wheel, they just changed the name on the back of the cards that Nick would give out. But you gotta believe that Nick was making a lot of money for somebody pushing drugs on Wall Street, and they aren't going to just stay sitting around after one of their top earners is eliminated. Because even if the cops deem Nick's death an accident, Nick's plug is for sure going to know it was a move to eliminate the competition. And there is also still a chance that Nick survived getting ran over by that truck. Even though it looked really bad, he might just be in the hospital with some broken bones or something. This is not going to be like eliminating Scott from Stansfield, who Tariq was able to get off campus without catching a body. Even the Weston associates looked at each other like something shady was up when they got the protein powder cards in their lockers. Now the thing I've been trying to figure out is, how are they going to move the protein powder on Wall Street and still keep their hands clean without anyone finding out they are the dealers, and it getting back to Trace, Braden's dad, and Uncle Lucas? My guess would be that they will hire couriers to use to deliver the product, but it won't be as easy as the kids they found at Stansfield to deliver the work. So I'm definitely interested to see how they will move the product without anyone finding out it's them. They both already have a reputation, and we heard Liam, the Weston associate, tell Braden already, I guess when you sell, you don't use. If these kids figure out who the new dealer is, it will get back to Trace, who will be happy to tell Braden's dad or maybe even the cops. And my guess is that Kane blackmailing Lorenzo won't be the only blackmail we see this season. I'm definitely expecting to see either Trace or Uncle Lucas blackmailing Tariq and Braden at some point. But Tariq's biggest problem is when Nick's plug finds out who eliminated them on Wall Street. And we see a clip in the season 3 trailer where an old white man has a gun to Tariq's head. This will most likely be in retaliation for Nick. And it may just be the Serbs, which could end up linking back to Tommy Egan. And don't forget that Ghost has killed 2 Serb bosses, Jason Mitchell and Milan, and in OG Power, Ghost found himself in a very similar situation. Needing additional hands on deck to move Lobo's product, they robbed Vladimir, the Serbs' New York distro, to force him to work for them. And when it was time for Ghost to try to get out the game, he murked Vladimir so he wouldn't be able to identify him as Ghost. And just when everything seemed to be perfect for James St. Patrick, he finally killed Lobos, was gonna be 100% legit and get to be with the love of his life, Angela Valdez, when he finds out that his security guard Dean is actually psychopath Serbian drug lord Milan, who expects Ghost and Tommy Egan to now be his slave for killing his distro and stealing his product, causing Ghost to get caught back up in the game for an additional 3 seasons. But the Serbs might not actually be Nick's plug at all, and we could see another plot twist to where Braden's Uncle Lucas is actually Nick's plug, and we could see a whole new dynamic playing out because of that. Now that one body has dropped on Wall Street, expected to set off a whole new set of events, and we heard Tariq say in one of the trailers, I started a cycle I just can't get out of. How many more bodies are gonna have to drop as a result? Leave your thoughts and predictions in the comments.